But I'm going to move on here to a few things there, Mr. Speaker, you'll appreciate. I've got some issues here around what this country is going to look like going forward, because this country is being torn apart by this government. We need to fix this budget. This budget is out of control. 1.3 trillion in debt in this country. Another 50 billion going into debt this year. How much debt do you think Canadians can assume from this public government? It's doubled since this government came into power, and it's not turning around. It's this notion that government debt can continue to accumulate and Canadians can continue to bear the burden of that. All this is doing, Mr. Speaker, is kicking the can down the road about where programs don't get delivered to Canadians that are going to need those funds going forward. Debt to GDP ratios, it's a ridiculous notion. Frankly, how much money are we spending on servicing that debt? $50 billion plus per year. That's about $3,000 plus per Canadian household just in servicing the debt. So $3,000 worth of government services don't arrive because we're servicing a debt that has gotten far out of control. We need to address that. We need to make sure that we fix this budget and stop spending money willy-nilly, and including on a $400 million slush fund that went to a bunch of insiders here. I'll bring that back home. But we've got also, think about a $1.3 plus trillion deficit. That's about $100,000 per household. You tell that to every household in Canada, your federal debt adds an extra $100,000 onto your actual debt, and you're paying the interest on that debt all the time, and there's nothing you can do about it. Don't worry, everything's free in Canada. We'll get you some more free programs. Don't worry about it, because that debt, nobody's going to worry about it, while your kids are going to worry about it, because somebody's going to have to deal with this. Kicking the can down the road is no way to address what we need to deliver to Canadians. And I beseech you, Mr. Speaker, that dealing with debt is something that we have to focus Canadians on and make sure that focus this government on, because it thinks that it just has to continue spending more and it's going to make its way up. It's make facts up as it goes along here. I didn't mention something here, and that's on the emissions cap they talked about, because it does tie in with the debt situation here. The emissions cap is going to harm a sector that provides $45 billion in the year 2022 to Canadians through taxes, taxes that supply services like healthcare, education, social services across this country. $45 billion. I'm asking you where it's going to replace that $45 billion as it does its utmost to try and shut in an industry that is the envy of the world, an asset that is the envy of the world. And yet it seems to be bent on destroying that. We don't know what we've got until we've thrown it away, Mr. Speaker. You know that this is something we've got to try and hang on to.